Alright, what is going on, guys? It is X3X. I'm bringing another video. So today we got a juicy story for you. So as you can tell by the title, it is true. It is true. I do smoke. But it's okay because it's not bad for you. You know, if it was alcohol and it was a drinking problem, that's different. That's way different. With all that aside, alright, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory. So this happened around 4 to 5 years ago. I want to say it was either the summer going into 9th grade or the summer going into sophomore year. I'm not sure exactly when I started, but it was around that time. Around that time, like middle school, my stepdad was a cop actually. And he would always, not really, talk about drugs at all. Like, it was just kind of a subject that was left alone. I guarantee he didn't expect me to do it ever, you know? Because throughout middle school, and I think it actually was the summer going into sophomore year. I'm not sure. No, it was summer going into freshman year. So, middle school, I was, completely against it. It was the devil's lettuce. Never wanted to do it. Never thought I was ever going to do it because I was always, it just seemed wrong, you know? So, I was always against it. I was offered many times by friends at school. They were like, hey man, we're gonna smoke this weekend, you want to join? I was always like, no man, that's not me. I would always tell them I was against it. They were always like, oh, okay, whatever. They didn't peer pressure me into doing anything. It was nothing like that. So I was never peer pressured. It was never I had to do it in order to feel cool or anything. Don't ever do anything in order to feel cool. Do you. That's what really is the coolest, honestly. I don't mean to turn this into a motivational speech, but really it is. Just do you. That's what's really the coolest, because if you're fake, you're not going to get anywhere. So my best friend at the time, we would always play football. Like I said in my other videos, during the summer or on the weekends, it was always football. That was all we did. That was our shit. One time before football, my friend went and hung out with another friend, and this friend was he was the dealer type friend, you know? He was always into it, from middle school on up. We always knew he was into it. I just never really thought of it. I just knew he was going to hang out with him. I never really thought that he was going to go smoke with him before football. We get to the park and we're starting up, and I just noticed that my friend's acting a little bit strange, you know? You can just tell when somebody, especially their first time, you can just tell, you know, that they're not used to it, so they're not in their own mindset at the time. I asked him, I was like, hey man, what's going on? He goes, dude, I'm high as fuck. And I was like, oh my god. So at the time, it was kind of not really let down, but it was kind of I was let down, you know? It's my best friend. I didn't expect him to ever do that. I never knew he wanted to do it. I never wanted to do it, so I was just shit, man. I don't know what to say. It was just a tough situation, I guess, because at the time I was super against it. We never stopped being friends because of that. We just kept hanging out. I never did it. I never wanted to do it still. He would do it sometimes, and it wasn't very frequent. It was just every once in a while he would go over to that person's house, he would smoke, and then he would come back and we would hang out, we would do whatever. One weekend I ended up staying the night at his house. Not the dealer guys, but my best friend's house. He was like, hey man, you know, we were playing video games. We were playing Black Ops 1 at the time. That was our shit. We would always play Black Ops 1 zombies. We would try to, beat our record on Kino der Toten. That was our shit. He pulls out this bag, and in the bag he's got something that what I thought, it looked like oregano, you know? And I'd never witnessed, or I've never seen weed in person before this. I was just kind of looking at it in awe. I was like, what is that? And he pulls out, it looks like a cinnamon stick, you know, and it's a blunt. It's the shittiest rolled blunt I've ever seen in my entire life. He pulls it out and he goes, hey man, I'm gonna smoke this. Do you want to hit? Now it's time for the big decision. He was like, look man, I'm not going to peer pressure you. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But every single time I saw him smoke, I saw how happy he was, and I saw how much fun he was having. Nothing bad was ever happening to him. So I was like, you know what? What the hell? What harm could it do, you know? I look at it for a second, and it was a huge decision. At that point, when you're first time smoking, if you've ever smoked before, it's a really big decision, especially with the mindset that I was in 7th and 8th grade. It was very tough because I was like, dude, I was so against it for so long, and I don't know, he never peer pressured me or anything. It was my decision, so I took it. I was like, you know what, you always have a good time. We're in a safe place. His parents weren't home. We were in the basement. So I took it and I hit it a couple times and I gave it back to him, and the taste was, like I said, just absolutely horrific. It was the worst thing I've ever tasted in my entire life, and I don't know, it's kind of an acquired taste. Like, when you first start, it's an acquired taste, definitely. I hit it a couple times, and it tasted like shit. Gave it back to him. He was puffing on it, and then he gave it back to me, and I mean, I already knew it tasted like shit, but my mouth already tasted like shit, so I was like, you know what, screw it. I don't feel anything anyway. It's just like, the first time you start smoking, it's, like, you want it to hit you immediately, and that's not really how it happens. So I was hitting it, and then give it back to him, and then we were just passing it back and forth until it was out. So I was like, dude, I really don't feel anything. I was like, kind of like, not like upset, because it's, you know, it's just weed, like, it's not that big of a deal. Night goes on. About 15 minutes later, I'm sitting in my chair, we're playing zombies, and I start feeling a little funny. I was like, dude, I think it might be kicking in. All of a sudden, I just start laughing out of nowhere. It was like an uncontrollable laugh. I've never laughed that hard in my entire life. I was crying so much. It was just like, it was the first time giggles kind of thing. So I was laughing my ass off. We were having a good time. He goes, hey man, I am starving. And I was like, alright, yeah, so am I. So we each had $20, so we got 2 pizzas from Papa John's. We called Papa John's, and at this time, it was like 10:30, 11 at night, so they're about to close up shop. I get on the phone, and he has me freaking call him, and I'm already stoned. I'm on the phone, and the guy puts me on hold. And I kid you not, the hold music had me crying laughing. I was laughing before that, but I never laughed that hard. Like, I was laughing a lot, but holy shit, that was the hardest I've ever laughed, and I will always remember the time I called Papa John's and the hold music made me cry. It was just somebody on a saxophone too. It wasn't anything like funny, it was just music. So I'm sitting on the phone dying laughing. My friend's like, what are you laughing at? He was upstairs at the time. He comes back down, he's like, what are you laughing at? I give him the phone, I'm like, dude, listen. And he starts listening, and he's dying laughing. I knew it kicked in, because we were both just laughing at hold music. Night goes on. The pizza guy gets there, and I'm scared to open the door because I think he's gonna, smell everything and, get us in trouble. So I have him go upstairs. Since I ordered it, he's got to go get it. So he goes upstairs, gets the pizza, comes back down, and he goes, dude, the pizza guy said it smells like weed in here. And I got scared. I was like, shit, man, we gotta start freshening up in here. So we start, spraying Febreze, and we knew his parents didn't come home until the next day, so we were alright. Like, we had a whole night to just make sure that the house smelled good. So we opened the windows, turned on some fans, sprayed some Febreze. We did it all. We did it all. After the entire night ended, we were just, I don't know, the stages of being high is like hungry, happy, sleepy. That's about it. We ended up going to sleep, and I'll tell you what, that was the best night's sleep I've ever had in my entire life. So, yeah, that was the first time I ever smoked. If you guys did like this video, I also have a story on how I got caught. So if you guys would like to see that, go ahead and put that in the comment section below. Please don't, don't think of me as, a bad person for doing it, just because it's really not, if you guys really want, an educated video on it, I can give that to you. I know a lot about it. It's not like I didn't educate myself before doing it, Always educate yourself before doing something. Any drug. I would definitely say stay away from, all the synthetic stuff, especially synthetic marijuana, because they put rat poison in that, so don't be smoking on that you can get hooked on that, and, be physically dependent on that. Marijuana, you can't be physically dependent, but I noticed that if you, treat it like a antidepressant, you can become, not addicted, but, I guess addicted. And not really dependent. You can stop at any time you want it. But yeah, that was my story about the first time I smoked weed. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're brand new. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.